Well, thank you, Kristen, for changing the sequence of the program so I could follow Larita. I think I'll just go home now. That was wonderful and inspiring. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing your story just in such a brief way, but so powerfully with all of us. And of course, thanks to you, Stephanie and Irving. But thanks to all of you, because I know that we have many stories like that in this room. The details will vary for everybody, but there are many stories like that. And I think that's the very nature of Portland State, that it makes opportunity possible. It makes excellence possible. It's through the work of you. And even though we are so proud of having so many of you here tonight, and so many more than before, we also still know that there aren't enough of us yet. There aren't enough of us yet. We still have so much more to do to reach all the Laritas and all her peers throughout this state, never mind this country, throughout this state, and to give them the opportunity that if they get it, they can take advantage of in such a glorious way. So we have this event to thank you. But as Kristen said, you don't need to be convinced of the importance. But what you do need, what all of us need, is to continue to convince others, to continue to reach out so that we can build this community ever larger and more powerful, so that this room will definitely be too small, and so that we really will need that arena at the Staatscenter to house all of us. That's just a little plug on the side. It's not just about scholarships, right? Because as you know, and this is a case, again, that many of you know, but that we need you to help make to others. We know that these are very challenging days for higher education in the United States. People are rightly concerned about rising tuition because that has led to great student debt. And along with that, in the recession and the very slow recovery that we have, people then feel the jobs aren't necessarily there at the other side. And just to sort of add to that, the rise in online learning with its great promise on the one hand, because I truly do think that it holds tremendous promise for providing ever greater access to educational opportunities for people throughout the country, for people perhaps in parts of the state where they have not historically gone away to school, or where the idea of going away to school is scary or difficult or economically not practical, being able to provide that access. But it also has lots of quality issues with it, lots of challenges with it. So because of all that, we have a great challenge for us. Even though at Portland State, as you've heard me say before, we are not spending any more money per student now than we did 15 years ago after you just adjust for inflation. We're not spending any more. Our professors haven't gotten lazy. We haven't built a lot of lazy rivers or climbing walls. And even though we try to keep the buildings up to date and the campus looking nice, it is not like we've been going on a spending binge. We spent the same per student as we did 15 or 20 years ago, but who pays has totally changed. As you know, 15 years ago, the state paid 80%. Now the state pays 20% of that cost. And the students went from paying 20% to paying 70%. And that missing 10%, for those of you who are mathematicians or economists, we make up on volume. We get it from philanthropy. We get it from a lot of other sources. We get it from some out-of-state students. But it poses a tremendous challenge. And we all know it matters, because we know that a college degree evermore is the key to future success. The college graduates earn more money, but more importantly, it's only, I think, through a college education on the whole that people can really, truly, fully develop their own potential as a human being and take their place as a citizen of a democratic society. And this is something that Thomas Jefferson already said over 200 years ago, and it's a lesson that we continue to forget when people start questioning, well, does everybody really need a college education? Well, they may not quite need a college education just to have the job, but people need a chance to explore knowledge, to explore the history of their own people and of this country, and to be able to learn, to think and criticize and analyze if they're going to be intelligent citizens, and God knows we need more intelligent citizens. You know that Oregon has formalized this goal by saying that everybody in the state should have a high school degree, and then 40% should go on to get some post-secondary education, and 40% should get a bachelor's degree or beyond. Right now, we're not anywhere close to that. We're only at about 30% with a college degree, and frankly, only 20% with some kind of post-secondary education other than a college degree. And we frankly don't even graduate close to 100% of our people from high school. We're only at 70% or so. We have a long way to go, and PSU will play a key role in this, because the population that we need to draw in are not the people who always used to go to college. They're not the children of the middle and upper middle class, the people who always knew how to find opportunity. They're the people who haven't been able to find opportunity, who are homebound in some way, or family-bound, or community-bound, who have to work while they're going to school, have a family themselves to take care of. And it's only through the help that you provide that we can get people here. Because right now, our students have these challenges. You know, we have 30,000 students, but half of them are the first in their families to go to college. They all have high financial need. 57% receive some aid, but almost all of those still have unmet need after they get the federal Pell Grant and the State Opportunity Grant and whatever institutional aid and scholarship help we can give. As a result, they're working hard, and frankly, they're working too hard. Half of our freshmen work 20 hours or more per week in a job. 30% of the seniors work more. That has an effect on how much time and energy you can devote to your studies. We need to reduce it if we're going to have students succeed. And as you know, our students graduate with debt. About 2/3 of our students graduate with debt. The undergraduates have about $26,000. The graduates have about $36,000. We now know that these are numbers that are off-putting to many people. You may well say, if you graduate and you find a good job, then $26,000 is not such a crazy number, and it is not. But if you're not sure whether you will ever graduate, because nobody in your family has ever gone to college, has never seen that that road actually worked and paid off, then that is a darn scary number. So we got to keep working on that, and it is your help that is so critical. We award $3 million in donor-funded scholarships. And it's so hard to say this the right way, because we are so thankful to all of you. But at the same time, it is still such a small number, given the level of need that we have. And it's not because of you that it's a small number. It's thanks to you that it's a big number. It's because of everybody else that we haven't been able to reach yet, that the number isn't big enough yet. We need to find far more. But today, we celebrate. As you know, in the campaign, in our comprehensive campaign that we're going to start, scholarships are going to be a central part. But today, we celebrate where we already are and how we've gotten there. You've already heard one set of stories. I'm now going to introduce two more of our wonderful donors and one of their students. So let me turn to Dr. Karen Brown-Wilson and Dr. Michael Deshane, who are pioneers in the field of gerontology, who both earned their PhD from Portland State, who've been engaged in community-based care since the 70s and operated the first assisted living project in Oregon. They've been generous donors. They established the Aging Matters Initiative, which connects our university capstone students to elders in Nicaragua. What better way than make that local, global connection? Addressing housing and other needs of elders. And over 250 students and faculty from PSU have participated in that program. The Deshane Wilson Scholarship Program began in 2007, and it's a collaboration between Clackamas Community College and PSU, where people first complete 2 years at Clackamas and then transfer to PSU. And so far, we've graduated 9 of those students, and we keep working at it. Please help me welcome Karen Brown Wilson, and Michael DeShane.